And at the end of the 2 years, if you're not successful or you're not close, then consider quitting. Most people quit too soon because they don't actually spend a lot of time in the market. They dabble. If you do what we're telling you to do, you should get better. Hey everyone, welcome to the Anarchy Podcast. 99% of traders will never make consistent profits. So why listen to the 99% of advice? On this show, we're going to challenge some of the most hallowed and repeated tenets of trading, and in doing so, set you up to succeed where others fail. Spoiler alert, we don't have a secret strategy or magic wand that will let you skip out on the hard work of learning the markets, but we can debunk viewpoints that are holding you back. If that sounds good to you, come join us. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Anarchy Day Trading Podcast. Hope you all have been doing well. This is Levi. Jordan is out right now. Jordan moved to the States. If anybody's a longtime listener and you know he's been living out in Thailand, he just recently made the move just a few days ago, made it to the States. And so he's out and busy, as you can imagine. And so I'm holding down the fort for this episode. I wanted to do an episode fully just based for new traders. In other words, if you're a new trader, I wanted to give the bullet points of what you need to know. This might be a reminder to a long time or intermediate trader, but for any new traders, where do you even start? What can you expect? How long does it take to learn? What should you know? Is what's important? What's the best strategy? All of that stuff. I wanted to try to boil it down into a concentrated bullet point list, kind of our top information for new and beginning traders who are just starting to dip their toe in, or maybe haven't even dipped their toe in but are interested. We've gone over a lot of these topics in their own episodes, so feel free to look back into the archive, but I wanted to hit this in one episode and maybe give some clarity and hopefully give you guys a good springboard going forward. So if you're a new trader, new to trading, here's what you need to know. First, number one point, and this is something that makes Jordan and I unique in day trading, this belief is that trading is based on feel. It's not based on doing the correct quote unquote strategy. This is unique. There are other people who've believed this, but very, very, very few. Day trading is based off of a feel, not technique. Not that no technique or strategy is important, but feel is what makes a good trader. Even successful traders who don't know that their success is based off of feel, it is. And I'll try to show that really quickly. The fact is, there's a lot of gray area in trading. And if there was any one specific strategy, just plug and play strategy that you could do to make money, everyone who day traded would be millionaires. The fact is 95% of traders fail. And the reason they fail is because they're always looking for the correct quote unquote strategy, the right technique, and they think the correct strategy or technique is going to make them money. It won't. It's like a golfer thinking that the correct golf technique or golf club will make them a good golfer. It's like watching a YouTube video on how to golf, right? You can watch a YouTube video on how to golf and know pretty much everything you need to know to be a good golfer. Fact is, it's going to then take 10,000 swings of your club to be able to hit a golf ball reasonably well. And because you have to develop feel, you have to develop an edge. And that's where day trading is much more like people treat day trading like it's some explicitly learned skill, like it's math. 2 + 2 = 4. Once you learn how to do it, you can just do it yourself. And there's a bunch of gurus out there who try to teach that because it makes them money. Here, I'll give you the secret sauce to make money. It's not true. It's based on feel. Strategy and technique is much less important than most people think. You have to develop feel. A feel for the market, or you'll never, ever, ever find success. So this leads to the second point. Because of this, because trading is based on feel, you need to develop feel as quickly as possible. And the only way to develop feel, think if you're trying to develop feel for, say, hitting a golf ball, you need to swing the golf ball as much as possible. You need to hit as many golf balls as humanly possible. And that's similar in trading. If you want to develop feel in trading, you have to spend time watching the market. If you're going to get a feel for the market, you need to spend time watching the market. And this is where our second big point comes in. trading lower time frames, not higher. This is again the opposite of what a lot of people will tell you. They'll say beginners should start trading on the higher time frames. We highly disagree. You should start trading on lower time frames. Jordan and I both trade 1 minute candles or sometimes even less. And the reason we do that is because you need to be able to watch the market move. The way you develop feel is watching the market. That's how you develop that. You can't develop feel by checking in on your charts once a day. That's not how you develop feel. You have to watch. You have to watch the market flow and get a feel for that. And so we highly encourage newer traders to start trading lower time frames, not higher. Higher time frames. Maybe you can do that once you've gotten good. The market is fractal. You can the things you learn on lower time frames can be used on higher time frames, but you need to start trading on lower time frames to develop that feel as quickly as possible. If you're a new trader, here's the plan. Set aside a 1 hour a day to watch the market, at least 1 hour. One market, one currency, whatever you trade. If you're a forex trader, if you're a futures trader, Jordan and I just trade Dow or the Nas. So we trade 1 or 2 markets max. Most people, because they trade on higher time frames, have to check between 30 different currencies, 30 different whatever, futures, and you never get good at one. The fact is, each market trades differently. And so pick 1 or maximum 2 to trade, and then watch those markets and watch them an hour a day at least. No distractions. When it comes to picking a strategy, there's a million strategies out there. And again, this is why there's successful traders trading millions of strategies. Each different trader trades a slightly different strategy. If there was a magic strategy, we'd all be trading the same strategy. But there isn't. Each trader trades kind of their own strategy because it's not the strategy that makes money. It's the person, it's the feel. The strategy is just a lens with which to view the market. So when it comes to picking a strategy, keep it simple. Don't go with really complicated strategies because that's going to actually hurt you. Keep them very, very simple. I just trade a breakout and retest strategy. That's all I do. It's very, very simple. I wait for price to break out of a support and resistance area, and then I wait for it to retest, and then I take the trade. Sometimes I don't, and that's where feel comes in. But keep it very, very simple, and pick a strategy that gives you enough structure to kind of give you a rough idea of when you should trade, but also enough gray area to allow for intuition. In other words, you don't want to do a completely plug and play strategy because that leaves no room for intuition, leaves no room for feel, and it won't be successful. Beginners really love these plug and play strategies. Hey, this guru says, I have a special strategy. It's plug and play. All you need to do is take a trade when this 50 EMA crosses the blah, 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 blah. Plug and play. They don't work. Again, if a plug and play strategy worked like that, you could very easily automate it and become a millionaire. It's just not going to work. So leave enough room for intuition. Pick a basic strategy that's simple. The strategy is not what makes you money, I promise you. Number 5, journal every day. Doesn't have to be complicated. I just take a screenshot of all my trades of the day. I just take a screenshot of, TradingView or whatever I'm currently trading on. Take a screenshot of it so you can see what trades I took, and then I paste that into a presentation and write a few notes. How did I feel? Did I make any mistakes? Did I break any of my rules? And my journaling takes 2 to 3 minutes. If it takes any longer than that, you're going to eventually stop doing it. So keep it very short, keep it very simple, and then trade every single time. Journal every single time you trade. You won't get better if you don't journal it. I promise you, it is the superpower of how to advance in learning trading. 6, we like to trade prop firms. The reason being, you will not make money on prop firms. Don't listen to any of the bull crap. They will try to lie to you and tell you and promise you big rewards. You won't make money when you're beginning. Prop firms, you just won't. The reason you trade prop firms, cheap ones, is because it just gives you a little bit of skin in the game. Paper trading is almost useless because it's very feel-based. Trading is. You need to trade in situations that give you the same sort of anxiety, the same sort of feel, the same edge, the skin in the game that real world money will, or otherwise you'll never get any better. And so you need to trade with a little bit of skin in the game, and prop firms allow that, right? You pay for a prop firm, let's say $100 a month, and if you fail, that sucks. And if you win, that feels good, right? And so it gives you a little bit of an actual real world feel. If you're just paper trading, you don't get the same feel. It doesn't feel bad if you lose. It doesn't feel really good if you win. And so you're not actually getting better. And so prop firms just act as a good way for beginners to get that feeling and to practice in kind of a high pressure situation. Do this for a couple years, right? So everything I've said, do for a couple years, 2 years. And at the end of the 2 years, if you're not successful, or you're not close, then consider quitting. Most people quit too soon because they don't actually spend a lot of time in the market. They dabble, right? They check in on their charts every now and then. They switch up their strategy a lot. And after you can do that for 10 years and you'll never get better. If you do what we're telling you to do, an hour or two a day, every day for 2 years, watching low time frame markets, one or two maximum pairs or currencies or futures, whatever, and you do that for 2 years, you should see you should get better. And at the end of that, if you're not successful or you're not close or you're kind of miserable, only then should you consider quitting. And then you can. I mean, look, there are some people who can't make it. I don't know if that's you. You don't know if that's you. The only way to find out is to go through this. And so that is our advice for the new trader. That's a lot to throw at you. Again, we've expanded a lot of these topics in the past, but hopefully this is encouraging for some people and gives you some place that if you notice something that you're not doing, I think you should heavily consider one of these points in this list that we've made. Give it a couple years, and then hopefully you'll be successful. Most people, again, quit way too early, and they think they spent 10 years, but they really didn't spend 10 years, right? They dabbled back and forth every now and then for 10 years, but they didn't actually spend 10 years learning. They didn't actually spend 10 years, up to the nose in the market. They didn't actually spend 10 years spending hours a day watching the market and gaining a feel for the market. And so they wasted a bunch of time. And I think when it comes to day trading, being very consistent is the key. Consistently put an hour or two a day, and start with an hour. If you can't do two, start with an hour every day. You can find the time, I promise you. And do that for 2 years. I promise you'll make a huge impact, and you're going to be better than the vast majority of people. There's two ways to view the 95% of people fail metric. One is really depressing because that's really bad. It's really bad odds. But the fact is, that just means if you do what 95% of other people don't do, you should succeed. And this list that I just gave you, 95% of people do not do. And so that should be hopefully encouraging for some of you. We love hearing from you guys. Please reach out at our email or reach out on Twitter. And we love trying to answer your guys' questions. Hopefully you guys have an awesome trading week. Let us know how y'all are doing, and we'll talk to you guys later.